So hello, and this is my latest tarot video. I haven't managed to do one for a week because actually my shamanic work, in particular my shamanic work, has really taken over in the last week. So it's taken quite a bit of my time and energy. So I thought I would share with you my classic and extremely useful decision spread for when you want to know, should I do this or should I do that? The first thing you need to do is you need to write down what your choices are. This is best for when you've got 2, 3, maybe 4 choices. Any more than this and it gets too complicated. I've already shuffled the deck because I wanted to do that quite focused in a quiet way. And I want to look at the two areas of my life, my shamanic path, which is traditionally called side, and my tarot path. And I want to see how, what, it's not a decision, I suppose, but where my energy will go between the two paths, because sometimes it's a bit of a juggle. I'm starting with the side with shamanism because that's definitely where the last week has been very focused. And the first card to represent my shamanic path is the tower. And it definitely, to me, shamanic work side, it is like falling into the void. You have to just let go. And in fact, one of the things that I did in the last week was a death ritual where I did fall all the way into the center of the earth. So definitely, I like this. It's about leaving behind my safety zone. If I'm honest, I'm really comfortable talking about tarot. I feel a lot more uncomfortable talking about side. Advice. The second card is advice. Now, I follow a Nordic path, and for me, the Hanged Man definitely represents Odin. I know that in other readings he has a lot of other meanings, but for me, that has to be Odin. Odin hung himself upon the world tree. So the spread is very simple. The situation, you should be able to identify this. If it's not something you're doing yet, if you're thinking about maybe moving to a home or to moving to another job, this should represent something that you're already aware of. You should be able to validate this first card. The second card is advice. I always put an advice card in. The future's not fixed. We have a chance to make it better. The second card is short-term future. Following my heart. My heart is inside. There's no doubt about it. I love it. It drifts me away. It captivates me, definitely. And in the longer term future, the King of Swords. Now, to me, in a reading like this, the King of Swords may represent doing more teaching, may represent running the side more as a business, although arguably I do still offer healings and various workshops. And it may also be writing. Very often the sword court cards can refer to writing if the question is appropriate. And so now I'm going to put my, it's not so much an option, but I want to compare the two. This is a comparison spread, which is tarot. Situation on a firm foundation, absolutely. I feel very comfortable with tarot. I feel very confident with tarot. It is the foundation of my business. I feel very, it does feel like I'm on a firm foundation. Advice, fantastic. Celebrate, build on my firm foundation, expand it, nurture it, enjoy it. Happy with that. Short-term future. Now, I have to laugh because for me, there are 2 cards in this deck, and 2 alone, 78 cards that represent shamanic work, and they are the Hanged Man and the King of Wands. So I've noticed that the way I read tarot now is more shamanic than it used to be. I've noticed that I'm getting information coming in that isn't, I still back it up by what the cards are saying. So that's the short term, I would agree. And I'm also getting more and more clients that want a little bit of both. So the lines between tarot and shamanic work are blurring. And in the longer term, I will never stop tarot. I love it too much. But I tend to think in the longer term, the shamanics, the side work will become more important. What I love about this spread is when I'm working with a client, maybe they've said, I need to go to a job and I don't know whether to go for a promotion where I work, or to go to a completely different company, or to retrain, or to run my own business. And I can have, 4 spreads. I often use stick-it notes because if you're reading for someone else, you can kind of forget. So use stick-it notes, and you can literally see situation. Does this resonate for you? For example, if it was starting their own business, this might suggest that they don't have enough energy right now, or that they're a bit confused about it. Does that resonate? So this card should always be something you can validate. Advice. And then you can look down and say, I've had clients say, okay, so, I'm going to stay in my current job because in the short term it looks really good, but I can see in the long term it's going to disintegrate. So I'm going to start to set up my own business now because in the short term it's not going to make much money, but it has long-term potential. Often with a client, you may get one option that's really bad, scoop them up, put them away, and you may get 2 or maybe even 3 options that are okay, and then it's up to the client. It's never up to me to tell a client what they should do. Okay, it's up to me to read the cards and to give my client a translation of what the cards are saying. So that's why I love this spread. It makes it very clear. You've got a card to validate, you've got advice, you've got short-term, long-term, and it lets the client make their decisions. Always look at the card at the bottom of the pack. It tells you something you need to know. And actually what this is saying to me, and it's absolutely spot on, is that my family comes first right now. And if I do, I don't think I put a video on for a week. Yeah, in my spare moments, I was spending time with the kids. My family is coming first right now. I still work, I still love it, but that really resonates with me. Do excuse, I've got paint on my fingers. One of the things I've been doing is painting my drum. It's having lots of runes painted on it, which I'm really enjoying doing. So I hope that helps. Give it a go. And yeah, if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, if there's anything you'd like me to do a video on, pop it in the comments and I will do my best.